other than thinking ahead, planning ahead, moving your fingers, recognizing that children will be out and that they aren't as cold as we are. We always look at them and say, you need a coat on. No, they don't. Not necessarily. That's just for our comfort. What else? So I've had some customers, for example, want to make snow angels, want to shovel snow, want to just keep going with their world, even though they're in an orthopedic device. And an orthopedic device can be a cast, brace, boot, splint. What's your advice when somebody says, I'm just going to keep doing what I need to do?
It's going to depend on the injury that you have. And your orthopedic surgeon should be able to tell you this. And think about them in categories. They can't tell you everything that you can or can't do, partly because there's always something else that kids are going to think of. But is this an injury that is very fragile? And things have changed where a fracture that is that fragile, that's going to move unless you hold perfectly still, just not practical. It just doesn't work like that. And so we'll, now, going back many years, we tend to operate on those. The other side is that if you take an injury and you wiggle it over and over and over and over again, that's not a great thing. You don't want to help it move. And so find out whether this is in a category that for a period of a week, 10 days, you really want to keep it elevated, minimize your activity, versus you're at the end of the healing phase and it's really just a matter of time. And you can move it, you can shovel, you can lift things with it, or is it in the middle? And then this changes over time. In the beginning, things will be fragile, also because it'll hurt more if you do too much with it. By the end, it's just an inconvenience and you're just waiting for the cake to finish baking. Mm-hmm. And then in the middle, there's transition. And so you can find out how active can I be on this? And then, can you shovel? Can you do things? I've never had a good answer to can you ski with a cast? The reason is that it doesn't seem like it's a good idea. Mm-hmm. When you fall, you're going to transmit stress to other places. I can't tell you how many people have ignored my advice. Mm-hmm. And there have been some injuries, but this is risk tolerance, and you have an injury and let it get better, let it heal, but do as much as you can. Kid wants to go skiing, put him on a sled, take him one of those flying saucers, go down with him. You can find ways to still have a good time without taking as much risk. And then again, towards the end of the immobilization period, you can usually be pretty active with your cast.